the gun. Sanders looking wide open, touchdown. Dylan Edwards. Sanders, here's a little screen. And they find Edwards. He breaks it back with running room on the move. Edwards down the sideline. Dylan Edwards. Touchdown, Colorado. 2nd and 2 at the 7. They pitch it out wide. Touchdown, Dylan Edwards.
Not one, not two, not three, 4 Dylan Edwards touchdowns in his college debut with the young man out of Derry, Kansas was unbelievable. The offense was fantastic. Back in the Stampede, Bobby PESAVENTO, who worked the sidelines for us, a former quarterback, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. All right, you played some quarterback, played at a very high level. All right, 510 yards, 82% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Your response to Shedeur Sanders is?
Incredible.
Yeah.
I've never thrown for 500 yards. I don't think I've ever had 82% completion percentage, but that was an incredible game. He made smart decisions, didn't force any footballs, but I think credit the offensive game plan too. Sean Lewis did a great job dialing up the right play at the right time, and he put Shedeur in the right place, and he took advantage of it.
There are so many things about playing quarterback, right? You got to be able to throw the ball. You got to be accurate. You got to have a strong arm. All these things. The one thing you never know till you see the guy out there is what's going on here and here. And you see quarterbacks crew. They get happy feet. They get jerky with the ball. You never saw that. Even when plays were breaking down, there was a calmness, a measuredness about how he was reading everything, going through his reads.
He was extremely composed. The way this game went back and forth against a good football team, the fact that he just kept fighting back and leading those guys and making the right decision and making the right throws, it's overly impressive. I mean, the kid is ready to play, and he's being coached up the right way.
Now, there's no better partner for a quarterback than having weapons. And oh my goodness, does he have weapons? I mean, Travis Hunter is a freak of an athlete. I said on the air, I'm not sure what planet it's from. I'm not sure it's this one, though, right? Dylan Edwards, you got Xavier Weaver, Jimmy Horn Jr., 4 guys over 100 yards, and all of them in one-on-one matchups are going to win a lot.
This is the best we've been at the skill position, and I can't even remember. I mean, these guys are really, really special. And they go make plays, and they go out and make tough catches. If you're going to play them one-on-one, they're going to run right by you, and they're going to keep taking those shots. So having guys like that makes your job a lot easier.
Take us down to the sidelines. So this game in the second half starts going back and forth. I mean, it's a seesaw game. You've been on a lot of silence. Sometimes it can get chaotic. There's panic going on. What was going on the sideline during those periods?
It was the most composed I've seen. I mean, these kids are disciplined. I mean, and the coach, I think it obviously comes from the top down, right? It comes from Prime. It comes from Shedeur. They didn't nobody got rattled when TCU kept fighting back. Yeah. They just got back in the huddle, and they went out, and they did their job, and they just kept fighting back until they came out on top.
We wondered coming into this ball game about the heat, right? Colorado obviously trains at elevation. I didn't see that the heat seemed to bother the Buffaloes.
No, me neither. I mean, being down on the sideline, I didn't see anybody hunched over on their knees or begging for water. I mean, they must have been trained and ready to go and in great shape for this. Because, I mean, it was hot down there, trust me. But those kids, there was nobody gasping for air. So credit to them for fighting as hard as they did.
We couldn't say the same thing about the sideline reporter. We understood that the training staff had to attend to him a couple of times. Let's look ahead to next week. Okay, here you got a 1-0 team that's shocking the world as Colorado has, knocking off a top 25 opponent, a team that played for the national championship last year. Nebraska coming to town, 100 years of Folsom Field. You're going to be a fan next week. We're going to have Andy Lindahl on the sidelines. You get to enjoy that thing. I mean, this is going to be incredible.
It's going to be awesome. The first home game for Prime, and they're 1-0 coming off a win like this. Our biggest rivalry for kind of the history of the school walking in. They got a new head coach. They're going to be ready to fight against us, especially coming off a loss. But that place it's going to be pretty special next Saturday.
All right. As a former player, what happens for all these guys? This happened for the last few years. After games, you're getting messages from former teammates, other athletes. Well, what's your phone been like? What are the messages?
I just told my cousin I have 87 text messages on my phone, and people are excited. They're fired up, and this was such a monumental game, right? Because of all the publicity and all the hype to come out and win and fight the way they did. I mean, it just puts a big exclamation point on the whole offseason.
It's hard to imagine when you consider the build-up to this thing, leading up to this. It's hard to imagine it exceeded that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it did. I mean, this was a fun game to be a part of. I mean, credit to TCU and how well they played. But
that's good football team now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Tons of credit to the Buffs. The thing that I can't escape my mind is their composure. How well they were composed on the road in a hostile environment and kept fighting back.
Well, a roster turnover, a coaching change, a staff change, a system change, it is all added up to 1-0. Coach Prime of the Buffaloes victorious over number 17 TCU, 45-42. amazing. Get ready, Buff Nation. The Huskers are coming to town next week. Going to be crazy at Folsom Field. We're going to continue after a quick break here to Buffalo Stampede.